How's it going, lads, and welcome back to a DayZ base building video. If you haven't already watched my latest guide on the new base building 2.0 update, definitely give that a watch. Today we're going through an awesome freestanding 5x5 base design which you can take away and use to defend that hard-earned loot. I've gone away and calculated all the kits and materials you'll need to get this going, which you can then start to adapt to your own needs. So in total, we'll need 25 foundation kits, 64 floor kits, 15 gates, 82 wall kits, 4 stair kits, 2 floor hatches, 16 window kits, 5 roof kits, 20 sloped roof kits, 3 ramp kits, and 8 sloped wall kits. And if you also have the basic territories mod, you'll most likely need a flag kit so that your base doesn't decay. Once you've collected all of these kits, we can then move on to the placement. Now to start off the main build, boys, we're going to be using foundation kits. These will be the base layer to build upon, and in this case we're going to need 25 total kits. What we're going to do is going to place the first one and then use the snapping feature to place the rest. So once we get the first one down, we're going to press the down key arrow to snap, left click, and then scroll around to find the snapping. And then once we find it, what we want to do is place 5 foundation kits in a row horizontally and then 5 vertical kits afterwards, so we can make a 5x5 square. So I'll quickly go ahead and do that and fast forward away. Now that we have the 5x5 foundation kits placed, we can start building them up and placing the materials inside. In total, we're going to need 500 nails, 50 logs, and 125 planks to build everything here. So make sure you collect those materials and we'll go ahead in the video. Remember, boys, since this is a pretty big base design build, in total for the whole thing, you're going to need about 6,000 nails, 2,200 planks and 180 logs. That's a really rough estimate, but it kind of amounts to the total materials you'll need for the kits, but also for the materials to full build all of the BBP parts once they're down. So a lot of you boys are going to be using basic territories mod or some sort of land claim mod. Most of them out there use the flag kit. So what we're going to be doing is spawning in a flag kit, placing it in the center of the base because that's where main loot's going to be, and it's going to be the last place where enemies can actually get to. This will actually stop your base from despawning over time, so make sure you have a flag kit handy. Now it's time to start building the shell of the actual base. So we're going to start with the wall kits. This time for the first floor we'll only need 19 wall kits, but remember for the overall build we'll need 82. We need to place them, so again what we're going to do is going to snap them to the foundation kits and then keep snapping them along so that it builds a nice square shape around our foundation kits. Now that we have all of our walls down, I actually left one spot in the centerpiece of the outer ring, and this one area is going to be where we place our gate kit. So we're going to need one gate kit here, and it's going to be our main entrance. We'll also need a ramp kit because we're actually pretty high on the ground, so we'll need an area where we can actually run up to. Let's go ahead and place the gate kit, place the ramp kit, and build up the outer shell. The base is now starting to come along quite nicely. So we've got our outer ring, our outer walls, got our ramp kit, got our gate kit, and from the outside it's starting to look pretty juicy. The new base building plus walls have a really nice log texture that really helps with blending in to the surrounding environment. Now that we have the outer walls secured, it's time to build the inner defences and the inner airlocks of the base. This will be the main holding points to defeat your raiders. In total for this part of the video, you're going to need a total of 12 wall kits to build the inner ring, and then also 1 window kit to build one of the holds, and then 1 floor hatch for the staircase to the next floor. So now that we have the inner ring sorted out, we can now start building fully our airlocks. We have the foundations to actually start wrapping the doors around the base. So what we'll need now is to start placing our gate kits. And in this case, I've only used 14-15 gate kits, but in the overall build, you can use as many as you like that will fit in the actual space. Now that we've completed the airlocks, the base is actually starting to come along pretty neatly. All we need to do now is start increasing the layers, increasing the floors, but before that, if you don't have enough materials to carry on from here, you could actually start roofing off this floor. And if you only wanted a small 5x5 base, this is where you could start placing roof kits instead of floor kits and use the inner part where we place the flag as main loot. Knock down one of the walls and put a door there instead. But in this example, we're going to create a few floors, a few window peaks, and make it a bit more exciting and a bit larger for those that are willing to build it. What we're going to do here is start placing the floor kits as a roof, because we don't want raiders to be able to soft side out. Raiders can soft side roof kits, so in this case we want to place floor kits here so that the raiders can't use hatchets to raid upwards and getting an easy soft side on your base. Quick tip for the builders out there. In total we're going to need 14 floor kits. I'm going to place them around the base like so. The airlocks are now complete and the base is actually starting to come together real nicely. You can see how the gates loop all around anti-clockwise, gets to the floor hatch, and then that takes you to the second floor. Here is where we'll do something similar another sort of gate airlock loop around the base as a second floor, and we'll build some peaks in between as well. In the actual centre of this part, you could start replacing some of the walls for windows if you wanted to build more peaks, but for video's sake we're just going to keep it as it is. Now it's time to start getting the rest of the wall kits, getting the second floor down. Let's fast forward through this part. The second floor of wall is now complete, and the base is starting to look like a little wooden fortress. It's now time to start building the inner airlocks for the second floor, or the inner walls, and then we can start actually fleshing out the rest of the base. On the second floor of these walls, make sure to actually have the green on the inside facing the centre, because we don't want raiders raiding into the middle. That would mean they'd be able to skip the whole base, and that's not what you want in a secure location. Once we've placed all of these wall kits down, we actually now want to start placing some floors in the middle, and that will build upon our second layer. I've gone ahead and built those walls and those floor kits. Now it's time to build a little window peak here from the floor hatch, as this is where the enemies are going to run up from. Be a nice hold for you to secure your base if they manage to get that deep. Floor 2 is pretty much finished now. All we're going to do is start roofing it off with floor kits and then start building those up. Afterwards, we're going to start walling up the second and third floor together, stacking them on top of each other. This will start building up our third floor, and our base is going to start looking pretty big. Floor 3, pretty much complete. We built up all the walls, the floor kits, and now it's time to actually build that sloped roof and start making it a little bit more homey. The sloped roof kits are now complete. It's time to start filling in the gaps with our sloped wall kits on these triangular sections, and also putting in some window kits for the final touches. Build's nearly finished. Now all I need to do is place a couple more floor kits to finish off that third floor so that we can start finalising the roof and attaching those materials and building up the final blueprints that I'd placed down. And there we have it, lads. Our basic build is pretty much complete. We can now start having a look at what we can do to improve it. What I'm going to do now is just create a little bit of the tier 2 windows and tier 2 roofs just to make it look a little bit nicer. But overall, this is the basis. We have a few window peaks to look outside. We have the airlocks surrounding the outer ring of the inside of the base itself. The main loop will be in the middle, and you can actually start spamming doors all in a ring around the base. There'll be loads of peak opportunities with windows inside, and you'll have a great time defending the base with this design. And there we have it, boys. We've pretty much finished the build. The inside you can kind of adjust to your own wants and needs. You can add more gates, you can build more peaks, but this is the premise of a 5x5 freestanding base. In this build there's loads of room for airlocks, so you can fit at least 50 to 60 doors inside this type of base. If we go through here, there's a lot of peaks that you can start to enjoy as well. Areas to peek outside the base like the windows along the front, but then as you move throughout the base you can actually start removing these walls here and replacing them with window kits and shooting players that are then raiding your base. If we move upstairs as well, there's plenty of room to start placing storages inside your base, putting your flag kit down, but also on the third floor we have our little sniper area where we can actually start shooting down on enemies as they try to raid us. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different, it's a little bit roleplayery, but I understand that some of you out there actually kind of like these base building guides, so I hope you enjoy it.